Logical minds and skilled hands. The ISTP is known for their mechanically inclined expertise and their incomparable problem-solving skills. Also referred to as the crafter, the maker, or the virtuoso. This expert personality type prefers to explore the world with their eyes and their hands. Fueled by their naturally spirited curiosity, but specific traits make this type so unique. Welcome back, Psychos! Today we're going to be presenting you with the 15 signs you're an ISTP personality type, the crafter. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel, as well as click the notification bell so that you never miss a video. Number 1. You are born to problem solve. Not only does the ISTP enjoy problem solving, but they're actually naturally attuned to solving issues in times of conflict and crisis. Equipped with hands-on creativity and a touch of spontaneity, their methods may seem a little irrational or risky, but they almost always find the appropriate solution. Yet, the ISTP won't just dictate the solution, but would actually prefer to get their hands dirty and do it themselves when the situation calls for it. Number 2. They are natural fixers. Speaking of getting their hands dirty, the ISTP is all about taking things apart in order to better understand them, only to put them back together better than they found them. They have a natural interest and ability to learn the inner workings and mechanisms that make up an item, and using their natural problem-solving skills, they can fix pretty much anything if they set their minds to it. Of course, all ISTPs have their unique hobbies, but this natural curiosity allows them to understand the ins and outs in order to truly dominate their area of expertise. Number 3. You don't get lost in your mind. Well, I'm sure we all tend to get lost in our heads from time to time, but unlike most introverts who have the reputation of being daydreamers, the ISTP is quite different. This interesting type has their feet firmly planted on the ground, which allows them to stay quite relaxed and optimistic in their day-to-day life. They aren't inclined to ruminate about the past or worry about the future. Instead, they enjoy the moment in front of them. Number 4. You are a risk taker. Easily bored and ready for a new adventure, the ISTP can find themselves drawn to high-risk situations that give them the thrill they're looking for. Extreme sport, fast-driving cars, roller coasters, gambling, and the list goes on. Anything that gives this thrill seeker the adrenaline they crave will likely catch their attention. Luckily, because they're such quick reactors and tend to be tuned into the outer environment, the ISTP tends to actually excel in some of the riskier activities in life, giving them a better chance at beating the odds. Number 5. You're extremely curious. A need for thrills and a curious mind is what gives the ISTPs an interesting array of experiences in their lifetime. In fact, curiosities is what fuels this risk-taker into experiencing so many things most people wouldn't dare to try. The issue is that ISTP curiosity is insatiable, meaning they are never quite satisfied with the amount of things that they're learning or the level of thrill for the things they're experiencing. While this encourages them to start new projects or try new things, it's not uncommon for them to leave projects half completed. Which brings us to the next point. Number 6. You dislike commitment. Living a life full of adventurousness and thrills doesn't always make room for commitments, but the ISTP doesn't really mind it that way. Long-term commitments seem burdensome for the ISTP, who can't be held down or controlled without feeling irritable. They live life in the moment, taking things day by day. Without the feeling of being locked into something for an unknown amount of time, of course this can make things like long-term relationships a little more challenging for the virtuoso type. Number 7. You're quite private. Sure, most ISTPs are known to be friendly, optimistic and easy to talk to, but they tend to be quite private in their goals, ambitions and emotions. While privacy isn't necessarily a trait that's unique to the ISTP, being an introverted type, they tend to be quite reserved to have such an exciting life to share. Whether it be due to their observing nature or not, the ISTP generally doesn't express themselves verbally, and they genuinely don't want to. especially to people that come off as annoying or arrogant. Number 8. You like when people take interest in your craft. So, certain social situations generally drain the ISTP just as much as they do any other introverted type. But when the topic is surrounding their hobbies, expertise, or project, you may just catch the ISTP's attention. By creating a common ground surrounding a topic they're well educated on, the ISTP may just open up a little more. They also love to lend a hand using their mechanically inclined expertise when the time comes. Number 9. You are known for acting too hastily. One of the biggest challenges is an ISTP's life is learning how to manage impulsive decisions. This quick-thinking type tends to use the act first and think later tactic in many of their decisions in life. This can look like spontaneously ditching important projects or plans because something more exciting came up, accidentally blurting out an offensive joke, or even adopting overall unpredictable behaviors that make them seem unreliable or insensitive. Sure, it seems like a good idea at the time, but they can't run from the consequences. Number 10. You probably struggled in the average school system. With a need for hands-on learning and a reluctance towards abstraction, most ISTPs have been known to experience struggles in some areas of school. They may even have been diagnosed with ADD, ADHD, or other concentration behaviors, when in reality, the learning ISTP just needs the practical application of given concepts in order to efficiently learn them through hands-on experience. Number 11. You show natural kinesthetic intelligence. ISTPs are not only grounded in the present moment, but they are also physically grounded within their bodies. ISTPs are aware and in tune with how their bodies move and what's required of depending on the project or activity. This gives them the strong hand-eye coordination, agility, and dexterity that is needed for working with their hands or showing off their athletic skills. Number 12. You value artistry and quality craftsmanship. Let's just say it wouldn't be too surprising to find a vintage classic car, a top-of-the-line motorcycle, or high-end power tools in the ISTP's workshop. While they may be simple folk who thrive on functionality, the ISTP has their hobbies and enjoyments, and doesn't mind splurging on the finest quality when they're looking to indulge or treat themselves. Whether it be high-quality goods, indulgent meals, or the latest hobby, if it catches an ISTP's eye, they may just rationalize the high-value ticket. Number 13. You use a perfect combination of mind and body. Okay, you probably get it by now that the ISTP is incredibly skilled with their hands-on work, but just because they're good with practical projects doesn't mean they're not incredibly intelligent. In fact, the only reason the ISTP personality type is so good with their hands is because of what their brilliant minds are capable of. To put it simply, the ISTP brain is not only naturally equipped to soak up facts and quickly comprehend new concepts, but they also rarely forget important details. Actually, many ISTPs would consider themselves nerds or geeks, while others prefer to follow their expertise in handy topics. Number 14. Giving emotional support doesn't come naturally. For the most part, when it comes to sensitive and emotional topics, the ISTP wants to be the furthest away from getting involved. Due to their logical tendencies, even when the ISTP personality type tries to meet someone halfway with emotional sympathy, it rarely seems to be taken in the right context. However, they still much rather deal with circumstances by offering practical advice rather than sympathy. Yet, unfortunately, feelings are a big part of being human, and this lack of emotion may be the main reason this type is known to be one of the loneliest personality types. And number 15, you're a fan of libertarianism. ISTPs can see the logic in libertarianism as a political philosophy. Possibly due to their reluctance towards being controlled or held down, the ISTP values the concept of maximizing autonomy and political freedoms within the world. They can see the positives of freedom in choice and individualism within a society due to their dominant introverted thinking function that allows them to make decisions based on logical analysis. This can also lead ISTPs to be believers in certain social and political conspiracies, with a subtle distrust in the people of power. Well, that wraps up today's video, Cycles. So, do you think you're an ISTP personality type? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to leave us a like, share this video with your friends, and also subscribe to our channel for more Psycho videos.